I like the energy in the room. So once again, good afternoon, everybody. I'm really excited to be here to talk about something that is very passionate to me. So just to give you a background or a flow of what we'll be talking about selling predominantly. We'll go into branding and of course, value management. And at the end of the day, we'll conclude. Are we ready for this session?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are ready. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are ready.
We are ready.
Yes, sir. We are ready. We are ready.
We are ready.
I love the energy in the room. So one thing I will also do is that in the process of my presentation, you see that the presentation is not a monologue. So I'll be asking you questions and you'll be helping me to facilitate this submission. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
if I have a question, your name, yeah. So let's start. Selling. Is selling a skill or is it an art? Let me get a few responses. Is it a skill or is it an art?
Well, for me, I think it's a skill.
It's a skill. Okay, I have one skill. What? Okay, another person will take two more inputs.
For me, I'll say it's as an art.
It's an art. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an art.
It's an art. Okay.
Someone said
art,
it's a skillful art.
Somebody says it's a skillful art. That person is a politician. Okay.
Okay, sir. I can say it's a skill, sir.
It's a skill. Okay. Let me tell you a story. I think a lot of us are young students here. Do we have students on the platform? Hello?
Yes, we have students.
Okay, do we have fresh graduates on the platform?
Yes.
Do we have up-and-coming millionaires on the platform?
A lot.
Yes, sir.
A lot of them, sir. A lot of them.
So let me tell you how I started my career. Okay, so a lot of us know the situation in Nigeria. So what happened was that, look, immediately I graduated from university, I put myself in a position that, I didn't want to ask my parents for money ever again. You understand? So I read computer science and economics in Obafemi Awolowo University. So I had a good degree and a good grade. So what did I do? So in those days when we came out of university, there was no LinkedIn or all these professional networks you guys apply to. We had to buy Tuesday Guardian, and you put your CV in an envelope, put a stamp, and post it to the relevant company. So I had so many applications out, and there was one company that called me. You understand? And they called me for an aptitude test on a Friday. So on Friday, I did the aptitude test, and right then and there, they said, you know what, don't go, we'll mark the test, and if you pass, we'll let you know whether you go for an interview or not. So I passed the test, and they said I should come for an interview on Monday. I did an interview on Monday, I did another interview on Tuesday, I did another interview on Wednesday, then they told me to come back on Friday. On Friday, I did another interview that they gave me the job. You understand? So when they gave me the job, I was like, by that time, I'd gotten to know a lot of people in the organization. So I went to the bathroom and I was talking to one of the guys I had met. And the guy says, and I told him that I've gotten the job, that they were preparing my what's that letter? My offer letter. The guy says, what department? The guy said, what department are you? I said, what do you mean, what department? Are you and I in the same department? Because I knew he was in the IT department. The guy says, no, but IT is not recruiting. He now said, who are the people that interviewed me? Then I now told him the different names. The guy said, no, those are salespeople. Salespeople? What has sales got to do with IT? You understand? So, do you understand my dilemma? A computer scientist, an economist being put into a sales, So I said, no, that this can't be me. You understand? So when they gave me my offer letter, the person was saying, okay, look, this is your title. They called me an account executive. It was a big name. It's just a name for a sales rep. You understand? So, but I think the thing that got me was that they said, Mr. Olalandu, you are not going to be given a transport allowance. because the company will give you a brand new car. Guys, I've not even done convocation. Somebody wants to give me a brand new car. So that's okay. This sales role, we must give it, what's it called? We'll give it a chance. And when I took the offer, they took me just like some of you said, they took me on a training program and an accelerated development skills program to be able to understand what selling is and accelerate my skill in selling. So, like you said, I never thought I was a salesperson. I never thought I could sell. I remember my first selling experience. It was so scary. You understand? But over the days, over the months, over the years, you know, it turned into something that I loved and into something that I perfected. So just like we said, you know, selling is both a skill and an art. You understand? If you take your skill and you repeat it constantly, you develop it continually, you express it formidably, you understand? It now becomes what we call in our space technical mastery. So we're all correct. Selling is both a skill and, depending on the individual, it can become an art. Do you understand? So the art part is left to you. You understand? So you can have a skill and not homing on it. It's just a competence that you have. It's just like, for example, Excel. Some of us are, all of us know how to use Excel or PowerPoint to a certain degree, but some are beginners, some are intermediary, and some are experts, and some are gurus, as the case may be. You understand? So the same thing applies to selling. You can be a selling guru, or you could be a salesperson. Are you with me, team?
Yes, sir. We are with you.
Okay. So
Yes, sir, we're here.
So selling is both a skill and it becomes an art when we practice it continually, develop, understand, and master all the intricacies that pertain to it. And I'll be sharing with you some of the fundamentals of selling. So let's go into what is selling. I mean, we've been talking about what that selling is a skill. What is selling from a definition perspective? I don't want us to be too theoretical, but I mean, to bed it down, we also have to go through some basics. So can I get a volunteer? What is selling? Somebody should bail me out. I can't see the names. I'll have called people.
I would say selling is converting your product into cash or your services into cash.
Converting what?
Converting your services, your goods and services into cash.
Into cash. Very good. Any other contribution? I think you kind of hit it on the head, you know. So yes, basically, you know, from my own, I'm trying not to be too technical here, but selling is simply persuading people to trade something, mostly money, for a service or product, which is exactly what you said. So have you seen my slides before? Who just spoke now?
No, sir.
What's your name?
Pascal.
Pascal. So you're already developing the sales skills, and I'm sure you're going to master the art very soon. So well done.
I'm into business too.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. So let's go into a little more, practical. So who is a salesperson? Who is a salesperson? What are the characteristics of a great salesperson? Can somebody let's go. The platform is open. Go ahead. Somebody wants to say something?
Okay, hello.
Yes.
A salesperson must be driven by passion.
Passion. Very good.
Yes. And a person must have a resilient spirit.
Resilient. I like what you said. Okay. Any other contributions?
A salesperson must have full knowledge of what he's selling.
Knowledge. Great. Any more?
A salesperson is one who wants his products and services to be known by people. He
Okay,
just
promotion.
wants his products to be known.
Okay. Okay. So we're talking into, you're talking into this slide and the next slide and about. Okay. Any other thing? Okay, so let me go. Let me go. So, okay, so for me, the first thing is a salesperson is a good communicator. You know, when you see all those movies where you see a salesperson is in a suit, you know, he knows how to speak Queen's English. You understand? He articulates his points in a certain manner. You know, are you with me, Tim?
Yes, sir, we are with you.
He has the mastery of the English language. You understand? So you understand, he's able to galvanize and get the attention of people he's talking to. So the first thing is that a salesperson is a good communicator. And what I've seen in my sales career is that it's not only in the English language. It depends on the market and who you're talking to. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'll give you a particular instance. I was selling to a group of market women, you understand, in Ibadan, in the open market. And, and this woman, all of a sudden, while I was making my presentation in English and speaking the way that, salespeople sell, they did not say, look, excuse me, what is your name? You understand? And I told them, my name is Gbenga. So you're a Yoruba boy, and you're speaking to us in English like this, you understand? Knowing fully well that we're, Yoruba market women, So, and I apologize to them. I said, look, that this is how we're trained. You understand? But that doesn't mean that, since we're we now, you understand? I now changed my my language into, a language that they understood. And I spoke Yoruba to them. I was able to, break the ice and win them over. So a good communicator is somebody who understands the language of the people he's talking to and speaks to them in that language for them to be able to get the attention that he requires and for him to get his point across. Are you with me, Tim?
Yes, sir.
It's very, very important. This is one of the greatest skills of the salesperson. So I go back to that interview that I said I had with my company. They were just asking me questions. Oh, when you were in when you had this situation, how did you go about, so my ability to communicate, my ability to express, my ability to be able to, convince people about my own point of view was what they were interested in, even though I had computer programming skills. So they saw a competence that they felt, could be used in a different avenue. And with the right training and focus, I became a very good selling machine. So one of the things that I think for me, and like I said, it brought out, that interview actually brought this out. Look, Gbenga knows how to talk. Gbenga knows how to communicate. Gbenga knows how to, he knows how to pass his point across. You understand? So, and the reality, team, is that, look, everybody is a salesperson. We're all salespeople. We all have these attributes. It's whether we develop them or not that will make you a great salesperson. And I think that's where we are going. We're not looking for mediocrity. You understand? We're looking for global relevance. I think which is the theme of this of this seminar. You understand? You want to be the best, regardless of the locality that you find yourself in. So are you with me? Do you agree that being a good communicator is very important?
Yes, sir.
So the second thing also is that, sometimes we're so caught up in what we want to say that we do not listen to the people that we are engaging. Do you understand? in my sales career, it becomes so pertinent that, you know, sometimes, you know, you just need to sit down and grab information from your customers or the people you're trying to sell to. In sales, we call them, you know, there's a skill towards it. We call them probes. You can either probe, you know, sensitively, or you can, you know, you can probe openly. Openly and open probe. Oh, tell me how your day was. You understand? So I know that's being generic. You don't have to, you're not going to go into specific detail, you know. But okay, if I now tell you, oh, tell me specifically the challenge you had with your boss. You understand? You understand? That elicits another form of information. So being a good listener is very, very critical. And one of the things that I learned early in my career is when somebody is talking, for you to show that you're listening, first of all, you should maintain eye contact. Okay, there's certain mannerisms that show that you are listening to the person, either like nodding, acknowledging. You understand? You know, then there's also a skill that we'll call a restatement. So after, for example, Pascal has said something, I say, okay, Pascal, your own definition of selling is converting services, you know, rendered to cash. Do you understand? And Pascal will say, yes, that's exactly what I said. So he believes, you know, so the customer believes that, you know what, this person is understanding me. Do you understand? He's feeling me. He gets me. You understand? So you're creating that bond. You know, there's nothing worse than, you know, somebody talking and you interrupt the person. You stop the person in the middle of a sentence to complete the sentence. Before he says it, you say, no, I already know it. You understand? So those are what they call, there's what they call some barriers to communication. You understand? And active listening is very, very critical. Sometimes when we're talking to people, you should just pause, just stop, and acknowledge what the person is saying. Listen to what the person is saying and restate what the person is saying. Are you with me, team?
Yes, you're listening, sir.
Moving on
Sir.
I think the next one is the most important thing. You know, the salesperson works effectively with people. So with me, you know, I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I've worked in every state in Nigeria and beyond. You know, you understand? So Hausa, Igbo, South African, Ghanaian, you understand? So your ability to get across to people, regardless of race, tribe, religion, you understand, is very critical. You understand? And one of the things that I've learned is I'm able to break the ice. You understand? When I meet somebody for the first time, you understand, you're able to size up the person. Hello, hi. You understand? Some people are introverts. They're not going to answer you. Some people are extroverts. They will answer you. You understand? So you need to quickly, you know, identify what kind of character is this person. And based on his character, you're able to, you know, get across to him effectively. You understand? Because that ability to break the ice, you understand, determines whether you're even going to be able to start your sale or even understand the customer at all. So for me, working effectively is a huge skill for a salesperson. But you know what? It's not the exclusive preserve of every salesperson. All of us on this platform can develop that attitude. Just like I said, when you meet people, there are different categories of people. You understand? There are those that are introverts. There are those that are extroverts. There are those that, you know, they just, you know, they how will I say, they're steady relators. They don't show you whether they are introverts or extroverts. They're just on one plane. When you meet this person, how do you know who he is or what his mannerism is, and how do you get across to him? So working effectively with people is one of the key competencies of a salesperson. And like I said, it can be developed, it can be learned, and it can be mastered as the case may be. You understand? And one of the things that I've learned in my sales career is that there's power in a name. If you're working with people, always try to, you know, ask them for their name and keep a record of that name, you understand, for future engagements. I tell a story about somebody, a sales call that I made. And when I made that sales call, let's say in the month of August, for whatever reason, I couldn't make the call to that customer again for the next 2 months. But I kept a database of what the shop was and the person's name. So you can imagine I'm coming to you 2 months later and I'm saying, hey, hello, hi, how are you? Hi, Pascal, how are you doing? The guy says, hey, how do you know my name? Pascal, I was here 2 months ago, So immediately that broke the ice between us. So I think one of the key takeaways, like I said, because what I'm trying to share with you today are nuggets that will help, your actualization, as effective salespeople and brand managers, is the power of a name. Always find a way to keep, records of people's names and contacts that you have. It really goes a long way. It shows, it shows connection. Okay. Initiative and follow through. One of the key things that a salesperson does is that he's not just on the field for nothing. I think a lady mentioned something like resilience. You understand? So the salesperson never gives up. If you can, you get it like that. A no for me in sales is basically the person has just raised a concern regarding my product or service. They're not rejecting my product or service. Tim, did you get that? When somebody tells you no, you understand? They're not saying they don't want. They're just saying, I have a concern with what you are presenting to me. So if from an initiative and follow-through perspective, you're able to understand what the concern is, then you will be able to sell. So as a salesperson, we call them objections, not rejections. You understand? When people object to your proposal, object to your project, to your product or service, it's not a rejection, it's just an objection. So our job is to understand what the objection is and resolve it. And that's where initiative and follow through comes in. Does that make sense, team?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So a salesperson doesn't take no as a rejection. He sees it as an opportunity for initiative and follow through. So when somebody is telling you no, you understand, they're more, no, I don't want this, but what is the reason why? And that's where your listening skills come in. Tell me why would you not want to buy my product or service? You understand? And if he's able to truthfully tell you why, then you can come up with a plan, a program, or an initiative to follow through. Okay? Confidence is very key. You understand? That's why you see salesmen, salespeople, the way they dress. I have a colleague in the office. I think anybody will call him Ademiju. When you see Ademiju every day, this guy dresses like $1 million. You understand? So, it boosts a lot of confidence. And when you see somebody dress well, somebody cannot be dressing well and wants to, engage you, and you will not give him the light of day. So, salespeople exude confidence from a dressing perspective, a speech perspective, and a presentation perspective. So even if you don't have it, you form it. You understand? Are you with me? So it's something that we need to develop. Okay, Pascal, are you there? No, Pascal is my friend, man. Okay. So one of the things, I always do, I've challenged myself. I walked into large organizations, you understand? I introduced myself, you understand? And I asked to see the managing director. Then they say, who are you? You understand? I said, I'm so and so and so and so. You understand? And, and the way you comport yourself, the way you package yourself is how you also be received. As the case may be, you understand? So confidence is very key, and it can take time to practice and develop it, as the case may be. You understand? So it's not built in a day. So for those of us that cannot climb up on a podium and speak to 1,000 people, you understand? You can climb up your bedroom and speak to the mirror and practice and practice and practice. At one point in time, I used to rehearse my presentations, my speeches, before I go out, into the field to meet the customers. This is what we talked about, the mastery of our skills. So it's so very important. Okay. Well, it's also important to be focused. You understand? So if, at the end of the day, a salesperson, most of the time, like Pascal said, is selling a service, is selling a product. He most of the time has a target he has to deliver. So he has to be structured in the way he goes about doing things. You understand? He has to have a framework or a methodology. You understand? And he has to be, he has to set his priorities well. So those are some of the things that, for me, are the key characteristics of a salesperson. I hope I've made some sense, Tim.
Yes, positive.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember what I said. I don't expect you to be an expert in all of these things, but the ones that you're good at, continue to develop on them, and the ones that you need to focus on, take time out to work on them. You understand? And I tell you, I remember when I started my sales career, a sales rep was supposed to make 10 calls. You understand? But I started making 20, 30, 40 calls in a day to develop the competencies that I needed. And basically what they also call your calls your order to call. So if I make 10 calls, out of 10 calls, my order to call is how many people did I sell to in the 10 calls. I was able to increase my ratio from in the first 6 months from 30% to 70%. That means if I call on 10 stores, I sell into 7. You understand? It doesn't happen immediately, but the more you continue to practice and practice, you become a master at it. Okay, so now that we know what selling is, we know that it is a skill and it can become an art. We know the characteristics of a good salesperson. Now we need to start understanding selling. You understand? So I remember I made the distinction between salespeople and great salespeople. So the first thing that we need to understand about selling is the customer. There are different categories of customers. And it's important that, for you to sell effectively, you need to have done some homework or groundwork or research regarding the people who you are going to sell to. You understand? A buyer buys because he believes you understand his situation. That is called knowing your customer. You understand? And you see it in a secret tool that I'll reveal to you very soon. You understand? A buyer buys because he believes you understand what he's saying. You understand? And as a result of that, he's able to accept your proposal and exchange whatever you're offering him for the product or service that you're selling. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
It's very, very important. You understand that, it's how do I say, it's nice if you can go to a customer for the very first time and sell to the person that day and the person buys. You understand? But why would he buy? Was he expecting you? 1. Did he reserve the money for you? 2. Did he know you are coming? 3. You understand? But when you have taken some time out to research, you have taken some time out to plan, so you have set a goal for yourself, you have probably come and done a preliminary what will I say, engagement with the customer. You've understood what his limitations or his needs are. Then you're able to come up with a program, proposition, or service that is tailor-made for the customer. Then your ability to sell makes sense. Are you with me, team? So I think the other thing somebody said is, when we're talking about the characteristics of a salesperson, is that knowledge about your products. You understand? The ability to promote your product. You understand? So there's nothing worse than somebody selling and doesn't know the features of the products that he's selling. You understand? It's I don't know. That's not selling. That is guessing. It's guessing. You're trying to guess. You understand? So when you take your products to the market, you need to have done some, how do I say, you need to have done some deep work. You understand? You need to convince yourself. And that's why sometimes when you see salespeople, they seem, just like the lady said, they seem so confident because they have done the research. I currently work in MTN. There's an app that we call my MTN app, and that app, you understand, and when I'm selling it to fellow MTNers, when I tell them about the product, I say this product is a self-service solution. You understand? What it does is that it places, the ability to run your own services in your hand, as the case may be. You understand? So you can buy from MTN, you can, research information about MTN, you can service yourself from MTN. Everything about that product, I'm able to how do I say, to pitch, because I myself have used the product. Are you with me, team?
Yes, sir.
I used to work for an FMCG company. You understand? And we had a what's it called? A very wide array of products and services. You understand? And one of the days when I used to work for Procter and Gamble. So one of the days we introduced a new product line. You understand? And my sales rep, he was very slow to taking the product to market. And I went to him and I said, why haven't you been able to sell this product? So he said, no, God, that they're not buying. Yeah, that they're not buying. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's go put the products into the car and let's go. And I went to one of the retailers and I said, hello, hi, how are you? My name is Gbenga. You know this person? Yes, he said, you know this person. Have you been buying products from him before? Yes, I buy always from him. I buy Pampers from him. But the guy has now introduced Head and Shoulders. We introduced a shampoo then. You understand? I said, so if this company that is producing, Pampers is producing always, and are these products making sales for you? Yeah. So why have you refused to sell? He said, so no, I didn't refuse. Though. You understand? He just wasn't sure. You understand? It's okay, well, so Procter & Gamble produces some of the best products in the world. You understand? So if we say we're bringing shampoo, what I'm going to do for you is that, look, you see this variant of shampoo is for people's hair that breaks. This one is for people's hair that are well conditioned. This one is for people. So I put the three variants there, explain the three variants. You understand? So that he himself, he'll be able to, explain to people when they come. You understand? And I say, you know what? I'm only going to give you 3 bottles, one of each variant. So that when people come, you'll be able to explain to them, you understand? Then they'll be able to buy. And if I come in a few days' time and you've sold whatever you sold, I will replace with two pieces. You understand? And that's how we sold the product. But knowledge of what I'm trying to say is that if I couldn't explain the features of that product to that person, he wouldn't have been able to take on the product. You understand? So that's one of the second features of a salesperson. The third most important feature of a salesperson is that after knowing your customer and knowing your product or the features of your product, you need to know the benefits of that product to the customer or the service provider that you're getting. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
a salesperson sells the features of the product. Oh, your car can move from A to B. It has cruise control. It has 4-way speakers. It has automatic shock absorbers. You understand? Those are the features of the car. But a great salesperson will sell the benefits of those features to the customer. So the customer is interested in, what kind of air conditioning system do you have? So in this car, there's an air conditioning system that is individualistic. So in my family now, my wife likes AC at 25 degrees. Me, I like it at 18. The kids like it at 24. So this car has a feature, that allows you to regulate the air conditioning temperature for everybody in their seating arrangement. This benefits you. How does it benefit you? Because then the atmospheric condition for each individual in the car is maintained. Pascal, do you understand what I'm saying now? So can you imagine I'm selling that proposition to my customer. I'm saying, the reason why you need to buy this car is that because I know in your house, everybody, when they're in a vehicle, they want a different, they want a different type of acclimatized conditioning temperature. and this is what my card. This is one of the features and the benefits that you derive from this car. You see how it's tailor-made to Pascal, or it's tailor-made to Gbenga, as case may be, because it's in my family that we have this need. So any car that I'm buying, you understand, and somebody is selling that benefit to me, you know, that feature to me and explaining that benefit, it makes it easier for me to buy the car. It's not that I didn't want to buy the car, but it's an add-on. Are you with me, team?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So not only do you need to know your customer, you need to know the features of the products that you're selling. Then the benefits of that, you need to tailor the benefits of the features of the product to the customer. Wow, that's a mouthful. Should I take that again? You need to tailor the benefits of the features of the product to the customer. That is when you understand sales end to end and you become a great selling person. So you need to know your customer. You need to know the features and the features of the products and services that you're selling, and also tailor it specifically to the customer. This is what they call, I see my slide now, move the slide to steps to selling. This is what they call, this is the sales checklist. This is bringing in all the things that we've talked about, you understand? So basically, now that you've developed certain skills in selling, okay, you know what the selling process is, you know the basics of selling. We now have to put a program together. In FMCG, fast moving consumer goods, we call it the steps of a call. You understand? These are the steps that I need to put in place to ensure that my sale is effectively achieved. And the first thing for me, I mean, it's you really need to prepare. Though it's not there, but that's it. A salesperson cannot just wake up in the morning and believe that he's going to sell, 10 cartons of Gouda. You understand? So he needs to have prepared. Okay, he needs to have a coverage plan. That means, how many customers am I going to sell to today? You understand? He needs to have a product plan. You understand? What categories of drinks am I going to sell today? You understand? That's establishing a goal. He needs to understand who is he going to meet and what are the challenges or the objections that they're going to raise. You understand? He needs to know what his competitors are doing. You understand? And also provide a response to that. In these days of technology, he needs to use technology-related systems to be able to understand, what was what are the pain points from my last visit? How have I been able to resolve those issues? You understand? Then how do I now move it forward, as the case may be? Does this make sense at all? Any comments?
Yes, sir. Yes, it does.
Okay, so I'll just reiterate once again, that in going to the market, after understanding the sales basics of understanding the customer, you understand your products, you understand the features and benefits of your product, you have harnessed your communication skills, you have harnessed your listening skills, you have harnessed your ability to work effectively with people. Now we need to go to the trade. And when we go to the trade, the first thing we need to do, we need to prepare, because we're going to see entities who we want to sell our products or services to and want to get funds from them. It's so important. You understand? So you establish a goal. My intention of going to this establishment today is to sell X amount of airtime, X quantity of beer, X quantity of Panadol, as the case may be. Then the issue is that you also need to prepare a presentation. You understand? So there has to be a pitch that you're going to sell. You're going to make to the person, which is what I will share in the next slide. You understand? So this pitch, it takes into cognizance all the things you know about the customer, all the things that you know about yourself, and what you want to put before the customer. And you need to anticipate all the objections or questions that will come. Because of time, I'll move to this slide, and this is my secret to effective selling. And the acronym there is called PSF. It's called Persuasive Selling Format. So persuasive selling format is a tool that I've been using for the past 2 decades to sell effectively in the workplace and outside the workplace. Remember, we said when you master something, it goes beyond the work that you do, and you start using it in everyday life. And what does PSF do? PSF is centered around understanding the buyer's situation. You understand? You can see the 5 steps there. I summarize the situation of the customer. After that, I state the idea. And when I summarize the situation of the customer, I tell him his current conditions, his current needs, and show him the opportunity. You understand? When I state the idea, I state clearly, this is what I'm recommending to him. Then I go and explain how this will work. Then I reinforce the key benefits. Will I give you an example? Do you want to hear an example?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
Let me put my persuasive selling skills to work. So Pascal, the current condition is that they've removed fuel subsidy. The price of fuel has gone up. The exchange rate has hit the roof. There's pressure on your average disposable income. What about if I showed you a way to minimize the amount of money you spend on transporting yourself to and fro? Would you like to listen to my idea?
Yes, sir, I will. Definitely, I will.
I'm sure everybody on this platform wants to hear the idea. Do you understand? So do you see how you understand? Do you see how I've summarized the situation in such a way that I've elicited your attention? You understand? Oh, okay, this guy is making sense. I've spoken to your current conditions. I've spoken to your current needs. I've stated what some of your limitations are, and I'm presenting an opportunity. You understand? So at the end of the day, when I state the idea, my idea is for you, I'm not this Tinubu's problem. It's Tinubu that will sort your idea, but you understand. So, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm already 50% into your bedroom, because I've gotten, I've kind of situated what your issue is. So by the time I propose my solution, which will have been well thought out, which could be either, in the area of, I have a vehicle that is powered with compressed natural gas, that will save you 50% on your transportation costs. And I'll go ahead and explain A, B, C, D, I reinforce the key benefits. Or the benefit is that you spend less, there'll be low emission of fuels, you understand. And I make it easy for you to, and I'm offering you a part payment solution for what you call, for buying this product. Pascal, do you think that doesn't it sound like something you will consent to?
Yes.
So So what I've done here is that if you look at the top of the, you see something called preparation. I've gone behind to do a lot of work. You understand? I've gone and I've taken time to understudy. This is the current situation for Pascal. Okay, I've also, from a product and service perspective, I'm coming with a product. I want you to sell something. I've also come with a solution that I think is practical. And knowing fully well that Pascal doesn't want to, cough out millions, as the case may be. You understand? And you heard what I said. I have a part payment strategy for my solution. So I don't expect you to pay 20 million or 30 million or 10 million. No, I'm going to just collect 100K for you, initial deposit for this car. You understand? It makes it easy for the person to say yes. You understand? So this is what I call the persuasive selling format. Okay. This presentation will be shared with you. You see this page that you're seeing. This is from a training sales manual that I used when I joined P&G over 20 years ago. You understand? So you can imagine how relevant this thing is still to today. You understand? And it's so, I'm just saying, that's why I say this is my own secret to effective sales selling. I've been a salesperson. I've told you I've sold in every state in Nigeria. I've gone to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin Republic, Iran. You understand? And anytime I have an opportunity to present or sell to somebody, this is the format that I use. So this is tested, it's trusted, and I've mastered it. And I want to pass it to everybody on this platform for effective use, if it's because it's been so successful to me. Okay, so that's where we're going to wrap it up on sales for today. I hope I've made some sense and I've left some nuggets with you. When I conclude, I'll make one or two comments. So we're going to go into branding now. Can I proceed with branding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
let's talk about branding. What can you name? Can anybody name these brands that are here?
Okay, have
Apple, Mercedes,
Mercedes, Nike,
You guys are
Apple,
you guys-
Apple,
Mercedes.
Benz, and Nike.
okay. So how many of you have these brands in your homes, or are you holding them? How many people have iPhones? Hello?
We have it in the spirit.
We're upcoming millionaires and billionaires. You understand? So I love that answer. Okay. And the Benz and the Nike. Okay. So moving along now, why are these brands so valuable? Can anybody explain?
So, sorry, I didn't get the question. You said, can anybody explain what?
So these brands, why are they so notable? Why do people, look at the brands that I'm showing on the screen now? You understand? Why are these brands so? Why do we know them? Why do you know Coca-Cola? Why do you know Google? Why do you know Facebook?
Okay. They're consistent over the years.
Consistent. Okay. What else?
The
quality of products.
Quality of product. Very good.
For Google, you can get any answer from there. From Facebook, you can reach anybody.
So that's competence. They're adding value. Correct?
Yes. Toyota is good for
excellence.
Toyota is good for it. That's reliable. Quality. Somebody said excellence.
Excellence.
Excellence. You understand? Okay. So what we said someone. So what is branding? Hello, what is branding? Let's use one word to describe branding. Let me take two or three before I show my position.
Branding to me is packaging.
Is what?
Packaging.
Packaging. Okay, good.
Okay, for me, branding, I think, is a picture representative of what you do, of your business.
Picture representation. Okay, picture representation. Very good. Okay, what else?
For me, it's giving your product a face, a sellable face.
Very good. Okay, I think I had one more.
For me, I think it's a promotion of a particular product or company.
Promotion. Very good. I think
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To me, I think that branding is an identity. Your identity.
Oh, very good. That's the one I like the most. That's what I like the most. But we're all correct. You understand? So that I chose not to go with any specific definition. You understand? But branding, like you said, it's packaging, is advertising. You understand? It's marketing. Somebody said a pictorial representation. That's your logo. You understand? Somebody says it's the face of the product. Somebody says it's identity. You understand? So look, at the end of the day, it's how people perceive your product to be. You understand? So it's positioning, it's advertising. In marketing, we call it top of mind awareness. You understand? If you have a very strong brand, you understand, just like the brands, I say, okay, oh, everybody, you saw the logos, it's okay, that's Nike. You saw the logo, you say that's Benz. You saw the logo, oh, that's iPhone. You saw the logo, you said, oh, that's Samsung. You understand? And the brand also talks into all those features that we talked about. You say, why, the consistency, the quality, the reliability, the excellence. You understand? Why do you think? Why do you think? I mean, I know we've said it. Why do you think branding is so important? Hello? Yes?
Okay, I think that branding is important because it is branding that decides how people perceive you.
Very good. Very good. Very spot on. As the perception. And it goes back to identity. Okay. What else?
Okay. Okay, as for me, I think branding speaks for you when you are not there. So it
Whoa.
travels better than your physical
Whoa.
the physical
Whoa.
presence.
That's a great answer. When you're not there. I will steal that one. Oh. I'll use it in my next presentation. Speaks for you when you're not there. Okay, great. Okay.
Okay, from my point, I would say is it gives a unique representation.
You're spot on. You're spot on. We have sales and marketing experts already on this platform. You understand? So, I remember what I said. We're all salespeople. Is moving it from a skill to an art that we're trying to be. So, and I like what you've all said about branding. You understand? It is is perception, is identity, is credibility. Is differentiation. In consulting, they say when you're setting up a business plan, you say, what is your USP? What is your unique selling proposition? You understand? So that normally determines the kind of brand that you set out for yourself. So you can imagine, someone like Apple, for example. Apple is, they've set themselves out. They're not cheap. you understand? They're not cheap, but from an excellence and quality perspective, they can be counted upon. Mercedes-Benz from a luxury perspective. Oh man, I have the privilege of riding in an S550 for almost 2 hours on a long distance trip, and man, I don't have a Mercedes-Benz, but I've come to respect and love that vehicle. yeah, you understand? And Nike, man, I have what's it called? A pair of Max Air pumps. You understand? And the feeling inside those sneakers. There's something unique and different about it. It's so comfortable. It's so unique. you understand? And these are the things that notable brands do. You understand? There's some people that throughout their life, they will never use any other phone apart from iPhone. They will never drive any other car apart from Benz. They will never use any other sports shoe apart from Nike. You understand? Because for them, that brand differentiation is there, that credibility is there, and from a relevance perspective, you understand? It's providing the relevance that they need. And people get emotionally attached sometimes, to their brands. At one point in time, I was so stuck on Coca-Cola. You understand? I cannot drink any other drink but Coca-Cola. You understand? There's no need. You understand? This is the best drink in the world. Whoever invented it, you will continue to prosper. Those kind of those kind of things. So why are we saying all these things? Because we as future business leaders, you understand, once we come up with our own products and services, you understand, we have to put together a brand, you understand, and ensure that it's differentiated, it's credible, and is relevant. Remember what our theme is: global relevance. You understand? You want a product today that is not only relevant within the Nigerian sphere, but globally. You understand? And when we talk about packaging in the next slide, you will see the relevance. How packaging has moved from offline to online. You understand? So today you develop a product and you put it on Instagram, and it is seen in China, it is seen in Asia, it's seen in America. Product that you developed here in Nigeria, and somebody saying, you know what, please, I like this, how can I get it? You understand? So it's so important that we ensure the credibility of our brands and the differentiation of our brands which is the next step into global relevance. Okay, I will move into packaging now. You understand? And like I said, somebody said, he likened branding to packaging, or he defined packaging as branding. You understand? And they're both intertwined. You understand? I think packaging is a subset of branding. And why is it so important? Why is it so? I remember what I told you about my friend Ademiju. Ademiju dresses so well that when you see him, you understand, even if you are allowing him to come into your office, because this guy is well packaged. The same thing for our products and services. You understand? You need to ensure that the look and feel of the products and services that you render are well articulated, well framed, well structured, well patented, well orchestrated, to ensure that if it was a Romeo and Juliet affair, it would be love at first sight. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, you're making sense.
Yeah. So I mean that's what packaging is love at first sight. You understand? So I mean, as as global entrepreneurs, global business people, entrepreneurs, even in the local sphere, it doesn't matter. You understand? This concept of packaging needs to be taken seriously. I think I have a slide here that says that you can't win with a bad product and good packaging, but you can lose with a good product and bad packaging. Do you understand this statement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? So you can't win with a bad product and good packaging, but you can lose with a good product and bad packaging. So you can have a good product, but because the packaging is poor, people are not attracted to it. You understand? People are not attracted to it. I remember when I was in university. I mean, this is just an aside. You understand? You understand? In those days, I mean, money was tough to come by. But man, in the school that I was, man, you need to learn how to dress well. So my packaging was where I looked. You understand? So just like Ademiju, when you see me, you say, man, this guy looks like $1 million. You understand? But I won't tell you where I got my wares from. You understand? So it's the same thing with the products and services that we render. You understand? We need to take time to ensure that the outlook is well conceptualized. The quality of the outlook is well maintained. You understand? And the way it is positioned. And like I said earlier, once upon a time, products were only positioned on the shelves in supermarkets and whatever. Now with digital, everything is online. You understand? I mean, most people have online, advertising programs than offline. And when you're advertising to the digital sphere, the conversations are totally different, because the person doesn't have the physical product or service in hand. You understand? It's how you present it in its digital format that will now lead to repeated purchases or a detraction, as the case may be. Okay. At the end of the day, your products and services also have to go through. I mean, this is what they call the 4 P's of marketing, even though the 4 P's have now been extended, but these are the fundamentals. If you have a good product, you sell it at the right price, you put it in the right place, and you orchestrate the right kind of promotions, then at the end of the day, you will get the returns on investment that you require. You understand? So packaging, after we've taken time to package our product, it's important that we place it in the right places, okay, and appropriate at the right price. You're not independent of what is happening in the global space, so you can't be selling your products if there's no unique selling proposition on it far above what the market indices are saying. You understand? So Yeah, these are the 4 P's of marketing. I know we have marketing gurus here, but I'm just trying to, align this with our packaging and branding concept. Okay. I think my time is almost up. I have a short quiz here. This slide says dash is the key to mastery. What is the answer to this question? Anybody that gets it gets a recharge card from me for 1,000.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Somebody said consistency. Try again.
Repetition.
Who is that person?
Integrity.
Who is that person
Me.
who is that person that said repetition?
Myself.
Who is that?
My video is on. My hand is up.
Please, can they get his video? I can't see. Go and present it. So I need your name, your number. You understand? And I know we're.
Okay, I will write to you. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'll write to you through your friend.
Okay,
Yes,
then.
sir.
Okay then. So repetition
Okay,
is
sir.
repetition is the key to mastery, and like we said, I think the essence of this session is, we really want you to be consistent and deliberate in all the things that you are doing. So in this session now, we've talked about selling. We've spoken about certain skills. We've spoken about certain attributes of a salesperson. You understand? The ability to take it to an art is a function of how repeatedly you take this. Okay. From a branding perspective, we've talked about how we've defined branding. You understand? And the attributes of branding. So, it's credible, it's differentiation, at the same time it's relevant, and you're creating a unique identity for yourself. I think one of the whatever says, it says your brand speaks for you when nobody's looking. Somebody said it's your identity. Somebody said it's differentiation. So as global leaders seeking global relevance in all that we do, we need to have this at the back of our mind. You understand? That our branding, it portrays our identity, okay? It speaks for us when we're not there, okay? And at the end of the day, it differentiates us, okay? So this is my last slide. In conclusion, I'm trying to summarize now. So for me, selling is all about persuading. But before I can persuade somebody, I need to understand what the person's situation is. I'll be able to summarize their conditions, their needs, their limitations, and the opportunities that present themselves in that space. From a branding perspective, it's all about identity. What do you want to be known for? Good products, differentiated products, credibility, and reliability. And from a packaging perspective, it's all about look and feel. You want to look good, so that, from a Romeo and Juliet perspective, I fall in love with your product, I fall in love with your service, at my first interaction with it. With these 3 points of mind, I'm sure that, you will all achieve global relevance now and forevermore. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Wow. Please get those claps coming. Get those claps coming. Get those emoji claps
Thank you,
coming.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Let's
sir.
keep it flowing.
Wow.
Wow.
Bless you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, sir. That's so exhaustive and sorry, I'm not sure I'm using the right language, but it's so elaborate and very, very, very insightful. Tony, please, can you take over with the question session?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We really appreciate this presentation, and I'm sure every one of us have gained 1 or 2 from it, and we'll run with that. So we'll go on now to I think we have about 30 minutes or more, or maybe 20 minutes or so for question and answer time. So if you are in the audience here online, you could use the emoji of raising your hand, and then we'll call you out if you want to speak. Alternatively, there under the activities section, there's a Q&A section there. you could drop your questions there. Then for those on site, you could drop your questions, and somebody will drop it on the group chat on WhatsApp, and we'll read from here. So over to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so maybe your questions were answered when this class was going on. It's okay. Now we have David. Yes, David, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for this session. I really learned a lot. Okay, my question goes like this. Possibly you're actually offering a service, and then a client comes to you and say, okay, I really love what you're doing and I really want to buy from this. I want to really buy this service. But for now I don't have the money. And we all know that online it's not easy to get hold on a client like that. So when we get to the opportunity to get the client, so how do you cause the client to buy the product at the moment? Because the client says I'm interested, but he's saying I don't have the money. And then you say, okay, start with what you have. He says, no, I don't want to start with a little. I want to pay in full. So how do you cause this client to actually make the purchase? So I don't know whether you get my question, sir.
Yes, I get. Okay, so let me use my communication skills. So basically, what you're saying is that you have a customer who is interested in your product, but doesn't have the funds to purchase the product, and the customer is insisting that he wants to buy the full value of the product, even though he doesn't have the finances currently. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see my sales skills. So what I'm trying to so I'll tell you let me tell you a story about when I started selling. So I went. It's very funny. So I used to go to the to stores to sell to people, and the person said, so you know what, country is hard though. You understand? So me too, I will empathize with the person. I'm supposed to be. I'm the salesperson. You understand? I'm empathizing with the person. Yes, so country is hard though, and we experience pleasantries and go. Remember, one of the characteristics of the salesperson is that he's focused. You understand? Your job is to bring revenue into the organization. Okay, so that's one. So I want you to not to be deterred from what your focus is. Your focus is to sell your products and services and ensure that revenue comes to the company. That's the first thing. The second thing is now to understand, in our sales basics, we talked about understanding the customer. So this customer, maybe you need to, I will need to probe a little bit further, because you said that, why don't you do, and what's it called? Why don't you buy a limited volume?
Part payment.
Yeah, what?
Part payment.
Part payment, and you said he refused?
Yes.
Okay, so in my history of working with people, I would not want to extend credit to somebody who has not transacted business with me for a while. And you said this is a new customer. Is he a new customer?
Yes, sir.
He's a new customer. So I'm not going to have in as much as I want to bring in revenue for my organization. I'm not going to be, there's some terms and conditions that we need to be careful around. You understand? So I will have extended credit to this person if he had a 3 months to 6 months sales track record with me. You understand? So that's the thing. So that's the okay. I'm building my next meeting with this person. You understand? So I understand what you're saying. You understand? You would like to pay in full, but from our framework now, because you have not even started business with us, you understand, I cannot even extend that credit line to you for now. You understand? That will be that's in my next meeting with the person. The other thing that I will do I'm just trying to, put the options to you. You understand? So first of all is, okay, you know what? A credit framework only when we have, a sales history. You understand? And this is, this is for all of us. We know what this country is now. People can just, yeah, I'm meeting somebody for the first time, give me credit. He'll carry your product and he'll run. You understand? He will change his email address, changes whatever. So, and because you've not had any transaction history with him, that money is gone, that service is gone, and you're exposed. So that's the first learning. Let's be cautious about, such requests. So traditionally, and the organizations that I work for, we do not extend credit to people until after 6 months. After 6 months, that, this guy comes every month, he buys this amount, he comes back, so that's the first leg. The second thing is that it doesn't stop you. You understand? Sales sometimes is not an immediate. You don't get what's the word I'm trying to say now? You don't close every sale when you expect it to. Are you with me? You understand? So in as much as you want to sell, you understand, it doesn't mean that if you didn't sell today, you won't sell tomorrow. So don't be afraid from walking away from a sale. You understand? And I'll give you another story. You understand? I had a customer that I was visiting, and every time I go to this customer, the customer says, look, the prices you're offering me are not competitive. I get it cheaper elsewhere. You understand? So I'm not going to reduce my selling cost because somebody is, I don't know where he's getting the products from. You understand? But it didn't stop me from coming to his shop every week. You understand? To help him with support items, visibility items, information on products and features and benefits of what he was selling. And I continued this for over 2 months. In the third month, the manager came and said, okay, come, can I see that your price list again? You understand? So can you imagine? So for 2 months, I maintained my weekly call cycle to this person. I was not generating any sales, but I was building a relationship, building rapport, building the confidence of the retailers and the shopkeepers. And after 3 months, I became, a bona fide supplier to this vendor. So that'll be my response to you. And like you said, you already proposed the instrumental payment to the person. So I don't see why anybody will not want to take that offer. But if you could probe further to try and understand why doesn't he want to take an instrumental payment, you understand? This product is costing 100,000 naira, but you have 10,000 naira. I can take 10,000 naira from you now and give you this portion. He says he doesn't want. I mean, there's a saying in my office, at all, nine bad pass. I mean, you'll have made returns from, the instrumental payment as opposed to not getting any product at all. So these are my responses, okay? The first is that, my advice is don't extend credit to a new customer, taking into cognizance that it's business. There's no transaction history on this person. You understand? The second is that don't be afraid to walk away from a sale, but it doesn't because you walk away from a sale doesn't mean you should truncate the relationship. You can still be calling on the guy every day or every week and say, okay, just to remind you, these are the features and the benefits of this product. These are our price list. These are, our payment plans. I'll check up on you, intermittently just to make sure that, you are doing well. You understand? And on the third note, let's try and see, is there a reason why, he doesn't want to take an instant payment? Because remember what I said in my persuasive selling format process, you have given him an easy way out. You understand? And he's saying no. So maybe we need to probe further to understand why don't you want to take a part payment? You understand? So that will be my response to your questions. I hope I've made sense.
Thank you so much. I've gotten the point I needed. God bless you, sir.
Okay, do we have any other questions? You can raise your hands. Okay, Bro Joe, please go on.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone, and I must say thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. I must say it is a great privilege for us to have you here.
Thank you.
We didn't pay $1 million to bring you. We don't take it for granted. Thank you, sir. Okay, so my question, sir, is is there a difference between marketing and sales?
Yes. So shall I throw that question back at you?
Yeah, because I usually think that they mean the same thing. Yeah, so I'm saying I'm going to market, probably. So most times I just interchange the meaning, and it hasn't really settled properly. And having the privilege to have you here, I think we can do justice to it.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. That is it's so marketing. Yeah, there's a difference between marketing and sales. So marketing is more holistic. Is all the things that you do, to place the products in the hands of the customer. Did you get that? Hello?
Yeah, I got it, sir.
So all the things that you do to place your products in the hands of the customer. So based on what I said, that means sales is a subset of marketing. You understand? Or is a segment in marketing. So I remember when I mentioned the 4 P's now, you understand? We talked about place. You understand? And place talks about sales, basically. You understand? So that's it. So marketing is more holistic. You understand? So we talk about the pricing of the product. You talk about segmentation of the product. You talk about promotions. You talk about packaging. You understand? It's more broad. You understand? But it doesn't mean that sales on its own is this small entity. You understand? So I'll take, for example, in very large organizations. So depending on the size of the organization, the marketing function is separate, and the sales function is separate. You understand? That's for large organizations. In small to medium organizations, you see that the marketing and sales are under. I mean, they're probably under the marketing director, as the case may be. But the reality is that while one looks at consumer basically, the other one looks at distribution. You understand? So sales for me, and you see sales and distribution. So it's the place, is ensuring the availability of products and services to the customer. So while when I look at sales, I look at four key areas. First is coverage, okay. The second is availability, okay. The third is visibility. Then the fourth is proposition. You understand, to the channel members. You understand. Then for marketing, it's how do I say, sales or place. Sales is part of place, which is part of distribution. You understand. You also have pricing, promotion, and of course the product itself. Which is some organization. I mean, some divisions have and the product. The product unit is so large. You understand. I think in my own organization we have products for youth, products for mass market, products for enterprise. You can imagine. Then you have a pricing team that looks at pricing across all those levers. They also look at promotions and sponsorships. How do you now, ensure that products and services um, are designed or sweetened or elevated to ensure that we create stickiness or affinity for our products and services amongst the customers. Then, yeah, when I've done all this, I can't close my eye to where these products are going to be sold. That's why the interlock between sales and distribution, sales and marketing is very, very key. So in some organizations, just to make sure that the interface between sales and marketing is well honed in, you understand, they keep it as one unit. But in very large organizations, it's very, very tough, you understand. So sales stands on its own, but it's important that for the success of your business, that the commercial alignment in marketing and sales is properly taken care of. If not, your business will suffer. And I'm saying this from experience. So marketing guys have a way they think, salespeople have a way they think. There has to be a commercial alignment. There has to be one team, one goal in their approach and in the activities that they carry out. So marketing cannot be doing something without carrying sales along. So if marketing is developing a product, who are they going to sell it to? They don't sell now, you understand? So the sales and distribution division, have to be carried along in the distribution plan of the marketing team. I hope I'm making sense. So when you say you're going to market, I know when you talk to the guys in the bank, that's what they say. Oh, I'm going to the market. You understand? But you're really going to sell. You're just going to see a customer. So it's selling. You understand? When you're going to market, it means you're developing a product. You're creating awareness. You understand? You are ensuring availability in the market from a distribution perspective, you understand, and pricing. So yeah, marketing is how I say is the umbrella of which sales feeds into. That would be the answer to my question. Hello?
Okay, thank you, sir. Please,
Yes.
do we have any other questions? We still have some time. You can raise your hands. Then those on site, do we have questions from there?
None for now. None for now.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll just stop sharing. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, okay. At the absence of no question, so we want to appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
And no appreciation is enough for how we feel about having you here, how we feel about having you here, and all the things you've done for us in the like our brother said, who is also an escort of this house, that we did not pay you $1 million to have what you gave to us, and we know that if we are to pay, I don't want to ask what we need to pay because. So thank you so much, sir, and to your friend, our brother that brought you, Engineer Isaac Wosu. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to be blessed of him, blessed by him and of him. We are grateful, and in fact, we want to keep in touch as a family. We'll be sending you our notes. We'll also be seeing how in fact we want to have you as a friend. Hopefully one day we'll be able to reciprocate in our own way to see how we can maybe show up for you as you showed up for us. So thank you so much, sir, and We appreciate all you've done. And see the house. Please, house, can we just appreciate him one more time?
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I'm short of words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm short of words to explain it. Explain it how we feel. There are people watching on YouTube. There are people watching on YouTube. Right? Apart from those that are online, people on site that are connected to different devices, and then everybody is grateful. We're grateful and we're praying that God blesses you. Like how we Bible says that when you store forth treasures in heaven, where you should store forth treasures in heaven where moth and rust. For the fact we're not able to pay you, we are praying that God will increase you and that this will be to you eternal treasures. And like God, may God bless you in every way. Thank you, sir.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's indeed a privilege. I look forward to,
Thank you, sir.
Great news from all you.
Gula. Imam Gula.
Engineer Isaac, your camera is not on, no. I don't know. You don't want to see your face after how many years? It's well, no. It's well. Okay, so thank you, sir. We will get to you later. Yeah.
Why are you saying to me?
Let's see your face, sir.
Present.
Oh,
Hold on, Gula.
God.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Okay, all right.
Thanks so much for showing up. I appreciate this. Thank you.
All right, then. Okay, bye. You guys have a lovely day.
Goodbye. Okay, bye, sir.
All right, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. So we are going to be going.